Anime Bones. So I made a part one, or well, this is kind of no parts, but I made a video about worst females in anime. So this will be worst males in anime. All right. Now I tried my hardest not to make it villainy, because villains are supposed to be terrible and evil and just bad people. Right. I'm trying more so make it based off their personalities. But when I'm doing it, it's more so easier, like not even easier, but it's more so the people with the worst personalities are obviously the villains. Okay, I do have like three people in here that aren't villains, so I guess I did that kind of good. I think half or more than half of the people aren't really villains, but we'll see when I'm done. All right. So the first person, right? And like I said, this is based off personalities. This isn't based off them being like a villain or a bad guy or something like that. This is just based off their personalities of them being the worst guys in anime, right? So first person, even though I love him, he's a main character, and I personally agree with everything he does in the show, right? Yes, he goes overboard a bit, but personally, I like his show. I mean, I like what he does, I like his character, and what he was going for, I love. Anyway, Light Yagami. Alright, now Light. Now listen, Light was killing everybody, but he was decreasing crime rates. He was stopping wars from happening. Crime is a big deal, and he was stopping 70% of it. That's crazy. 70% of crime is crazy. Alright, he was stopping that. Now, this is the part that makes him bad, all right? The part where he was over, like, going above and beyond and not caring about no one else's feelings is where it was, like, kind of crazy to me. So this is the personality part. First, the way he was doing his dad. Like, I feel like in real life or whatever, not even real life, even in the show, it's like, if you were doing that and your dad is your dad, like, Light cared about his dad. Like, so it's like, he should have at least told him or something eventually, like, because it was going on for a minute, and that's your number one. That's supposed to be your pops. Like, and obviously, Light's dad was a part of the police force, but still. And then, Light was treating bitches terribly. Like, he was treating Misa like shit. And then he was just getting bitches left and right. Then he was getting, he had the one bitch who cheeks he clapped. He clapped his one bitch's cheeks and then put her on a death mission. Like, this nigga was just ruthless. Like, he was doing everything he needed to do to get his point across, which was crazy. And that's where he falls in to the bad personality. That's where he falls into a bad guy in anime, right? Now another person. This guy is literally racist. And I really don't even consider him a guy, but this guy is literally racist. Frieza. This guy, Frieza, he treats Saiyans like they're just black people in the 1800s or something. He's a white guy. This guy, Frieza, is so racist. He be calling them monkeys. And he always be talking trash about, like, and he killed them all. Like, this guy Frieza is the most racist person probably in all of anime. And the fact that, like I was saying, is a race. It's like, Frieza is terrible, and then we're not even going to talk about how many times Goku tried to let him go off. Like, even at the end of their saga of their arc, right? Goku was like, yo, he gave Frieza some energy. He was like, yo, here you go. You know what I mean? Stop this and, go about your business. Get out this planet, live, go about your business. This guy just killed Goku's best friend and out here killing everyone, and Goku is still gonna be nice enough to give him some energy. Like, first of all, Frieza was already on death's door. Gave Frieza some energy just so he could just, like, go on about his life and not die. This nigga Frieza is so racist, he said, no, fuck that. Nigga, you gonna die. And then ended up getting himself killed. I'm like, bro, this guy just lets you off. He just tried. I ain't never see a nigga just whoop your ass and then he basically whipped his ass and tried to pick him back up off the floor. And Frieza just basically smacked his hand away and went for another punch. That's basically what Frieza did. Like, Frieza's a piece of shit, and it really doesn't make sense why he's so evil. Even in the Tournament of Power, they bring this guy back to life. Right? Obviously, they brought him back to life because they needed his strength, his power for the tournament. But they still brought him back to life, and this guy was still like, nah, fuck that. I'm still going to be evil after we win this tournament, all right? Frieza's a piece of shit. Then we got Makoto. Some of you might watch School Days. Some of you might not seen School Days. If you haven't seen School Days, it's a 12-episode anime. Go check it out. The most craziest ending probably in all anime, honestly. But this guy went around. I've seen a bunch of shows like Sword Art Online first season where, like, the main character is like flirting, not even flirting, but every female he walks into just like his head's over heels with him, right? But this guy, every female you meet in the show, he claps all their cheeks, all of them. And then there's one girl he wanted to talk to in the beginning more than anything. He finally gets to talk to her, then cheats on her with another girl that was helping him get her. Then he ends up with that girl, and ends up just cheating on her the whole show with her own friends, with other females. I'm like, yo, this guy is an asshole. Now, even though that's my boy and he's player, bro, he was still a terrible guy. Then we got 3 more trying to hurt him and bust it out. Then we got Eugero Hanma, Baki's dad. Now, once again, he's a villain. I try not to add these villains in there. But, man, Eugero is just a piece of shit. Like, bro, when you whip your child's ass to the point where he's almost dead, and then when your baby mama tries to stop you, and then you bear hug her to the point where you break her back and kill her, bro, you're probably like the worst. Like, that's definitely the worst dad of all time. Bro whipped his son's ass to near death, then broke his mother's back, and that's it, killed his mom. And then treats Baki like shit just because he don't be strong enough. Like, his whole point is just for Baki to be strong, just so one day he can have a great fight with him. And he still would want to beat him, mind you. Like, he wants him to be strong just so he can have a good fight. But at the end of that good fight, he still wants to be the one who wins. Like, Eugero is definitely probably top tier worst dad, right? And then who we got? We got Bakugou. Bakugou, bro, he's a good guy or whatever, and a lot of people like him. I like him in terms of how good he is at fighting. But, bro, Bakugou is like the worst friend ever. Like, you think Sasuke's a bad friend, man. Bakugou treats this nigga Deku like shit. He even gave this thing a name that means useless. Like, bro, he been yelling at Deku forever, basically bullying this nigga. He be all in this nigga face, screaming every time he sees this nigga. Like, mind you, we're going to ignore the fact that he's been knowing him for the longest. He's been knowing Deku for the longest and been treating this guy like shit, bro. And even when he got his powers, he didn't get hype for him. He's just been hating on him. He was just hating on him the whole time. Now, I know in the manga things probably happened. I think they got cool or something. But, bro, Bakugou been an asshole this whole time. He's definitely the worst friend probably any anime main character have. Like, even at least Sasuke had plenty of great moments when he was chilling and cool and happy with Naruto. And actually even admitted that, like, they boys. Like, Bakugou doesn't do none of that. He just talks shit and yells the whole time. Me, personally, I like how he's strong and stuff like that, but as a character, bro, he'd be kind of blowing my shit because it's like, bro, relax. But anyway, the last character, we got to go back to a villain, sadly. And we got to go with Dio. Now, Dio, worst nigga ever, right? This guy, he got taken in from a family, right? I never seen a family took him in from him being adopted. They took him in, and this guy came in. Now he has a brother, right? Came in, kicks this nigga's dog off the rip, kicks this nigga dog as soon as he stepped out the vehicle, right? Then he puts this nigga dog in a fucking furnace and burns this nigga dog alive, right? Then he kisses this nigga's bitch, right? The main character's first bitch kisses her. Like, this nigga was like, I know villains are bad, but like, for what reason are you this bad for? Like, as a human, why are you just an asshole? Who's kicking dogs, burning them alive, and then fucking and kissing niggas' bitches? Like, who does shit like this? Like, and mind you, the main character didn't do nothing to him at all. He's hadn't done nothing to him at all. Whole time, he's plotting to kill his dad, the main character's dad, and then at the end of the first season, takes this nigga's body so he don't die. Cuts off the nigga's head, takes his body. Bro. And then proceeds to torment this nigga's family, his descendants. Like, Dio is probably a top tier, one of the worst, like, not even, worst villains solely off just being a villain, like being an asshole. Dio's probably the #1 asshole in all of anime. Like, he's a piece of shit. Now, I would even say even over Frieza. Because, bro, like, off the rip, who does that? Like, this guy family took you in, and you're doing all this, and niggas being nice to you? Like, bro, come on. But anyway, that's my top worst male characters in anime. I know you guys probably got something you could think of. I was going to add Madara, but I could have him in there. Let me know if you guys can think of anyone else who's a pretty bad anime character. And like I said, not villainy-wise, but more just personality-wise, all right? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Anime Bones out.